this works. Holy smokes, this is actually a legitimate business model. I'm not selling a course. I'm telling you this right now. All right. If you are between the ages of 17 to 25, or even slightly higher, who cares? This video is for you. I'm making this video because this is something that I wish I had watched before I began my journey, but I feel like I need to make this to help people, but more importantly, to document my journey as well. As someone who's younger, who always wants to try and thrive and has goals and has a big why of trying to make it, we're in this world of constant online money. Check out this guy who's 19 years old who made $400,000. Check out Brett Scales, he's made a bag, whatever. For any sort of business model you want to start, drop shipping or whatever it is, you typically require some sort of upfront capital, whether it's buying a course, whether it's spending on ads for e-commerce. Take it from me, I left a high-paying job to pursue drop shipping, and it was one of the worst decisions I possibly could have made. The good news is, even though I got into over $8,000 worth of debt, the good news is I was able to build something that completely got me out of it. Just to give you guys insight, this business model was quite literally the reason why I was able to get out of my debt, why I was able to give my dad cash on his birthday, why I was able to fund my own trip to Portugal, which was like my dream vacation, and on top of it as well, why I can work full-time on my business now without having to worry about anything. And it wasn't until I ran my e-commerce stores and I failed over and over, racking up $8,000 worth of credit card debt, that I realized there needs to be another way where you can make money without having to run ads or spend upfront money that you just don't have. And so what is that way? It is something called an influencer marketing agency. So very, very simple bootcamp. What is that? And why do I talk about it? Just to give you my credentials, I started my influencer marketing agency after I was forced to start working a full-time job after my venture with e-commerce was horrendous. And on the side, started watching YouTube videos, learning what it was, until I think we started in May. I'll drop screenshots right over here. We started in May, me and my business partner, and we started working on it we started in May, so you can see the PayPal balance would have been zero. We worked on it in June, and by August had already generated over $12,000. That was enough for us to be like, this works. Holy smokes, this is actually a legitimate business model. And this was built, by the way, while I was working a full-time job. So the only time I had was working right after I got home, which was like from like 7 to 10, so working 3 hours per day. But I just learned it from watching a video. So I'm gonna put you guys on sauce, and my whole objective here is if this can help one person, just one person, close their first deal, this would have paid off. Because I wish that I had seen it earlier, before I got into e-commerce, or before I paid for these courses that were horrendous. Now, let's get into it. What is an influencer marketing agency? Essentially, it is the business of being a middleman. So, for example, what's an example of a business that is where you're a middleman? Take Uber, for example. Uber doesn't actually do any work, right? Uber, what do? They connect you with drivers. The drivers do the work, and they take a percentage of the fee. If you're a middleman, you don't actually do the work, you do the connecting. And so if you look at the world right now, what does every single company need to make money? Well, they need sales, right? But what's the best way for them to make sales? They need some sort of attention, right? Because they need people to actually know about their product or their brand to first buy it, right? So the question then is, okay, well, Maher, like, what are you getting at? Like, what's your point? I'm getting there, trust me. The point is, e-commerce brands and like your favorite brands like Nike, Lululemon, Alo, whatever it may be, they are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per year on marketing. But not just any kind of marketing. I don't mean like Facebook ads, email ads, or email marketing. I'm talking about influencer marketing. I don't know if you guys ever watch like baseball, for example. I'm personally Canadian, so I was a Blue Jays guy. But if you ever saw, the brand New Balance, You might have seen that there's a pretty big figure there. His name, Shohei Ohtani. Everyone knows who that is. If you don't, you live under a rock. How much money do you think New Balance paid Shohei Ohtani to be in that one ad? Now again, you might be thinking, what are you on about? Stay with me. They probably paid him a lot of money. But again, the point is, do you think that New Balance went directly to Shohei Ohtani and said, hey, come be in our ad? No. Every single celebrity, or someone of high status has managers, brand managers, or some sort of agent, someone that can actually take care of all of their content or their collaborations. Why? Because Shohei Ohtani doesn't have all of these sitting around looking for brands to reach out. He's got baseball to play. You guys see what I'm saying? There needs to be someone that helps with these kind of collaboration. Once New Balance comes and says, hey, I want to work with Shohei Ohtani, they go to the agency. The agency has a pre-dictated fee with the agent, in this case Shohei, and they take a cut from that deal. So if New Balance paid Shohei Ohtani $3 million, the agency takes like a 20% fee, which covers their expense, and the rest goes to Ohtani. So the agency does absolutely nothing. All they do is wait for the brand to come to them, they take the fee, and they make sure things happen. And that is essentially what influencer marketing is. You probably don't know any A-list celebrities, but if you look around on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, there are people that are local to your area. I'm personally from Toronto, Ontario. There are people that are local to your area that probably have a decent amount of followers. I'm talking 10, 15, even if they have 5,000 followers. If they are someone that knows how to make content, this is your opportunity going into 2026 to make a lot of money and help them make a lot of money. The idea is simple. You go to your friend, you ask them if they want to get paid for their content that they make, and you simply connect brands with that influencer and you take a percentage. It is the easiest thing to do because it literally requires zero capital. How much does it cost to call up your friend who makes content? Bro, look, everybody has a friend that makes content. There is one person in your friend group that cannot put their phone down when they're eating. They need to put it on their highlight reel. Like let's keep it a buck. They need to, and so you have to be the smart one and say, okay, look, you make this. Why don't you just post it, or why don't you just like take this content thing seriously? And then you now get brands who will then pay the influencer to make content, and you take a cut. The best part is when you look at the amount that we made from our first deal wasn't from a local brand. We found a brand with a humongous budget that was based in Europe. So now you might be wondering, okay, Maher, what are you talking about? How do you do any of this? Look, I'm gonna make a separate video explaining the step-by-step process on how we actually built an influencer marketing agency. And by the way, the balance I showed you earlier was just something that we did while working part-time on the business. We had a full-time job. Now I work on it full-time, so you can only imagine the numbers that we do. But the reason I want to make this is I want to show you guys what's possible. I want to use this as a way to document my journey as well, and show you guys how insane it is that you can literally spend absolutely zero money on ads or courses or any of that sort, and just find the right people that are willing to pay for content creation. And again, this is not a get rich money scheme at all whatsoever. It's not. If you're looking to make money quickly, you're not going to make it quickly, I promise you. But it's not that difficult. And by the way, I'm not by any means saying we're at 6 figures a month of any sort, but we can consistently make 5 figures in profit every single month. So I'm going to be making a pretty cool series talking about breaking down the details on how to go ahead and do this. So look forward to that video. I've also below, I'm going to attach a Telegram where I give away our strategies and everything you need to learn and know how to do in an influencer marketing agency, or how to build it below. So if you want to learn how to do everything, go click the Telegram link below. And if you want personal mentorship, by the way, mentorships are fantastic. I spent a lot of money on mentors, which is the reason why I even learned about influencer marketing in the first place. I really worked with a mentor who has he's an 8-figure entrepreneur. That's a story for another time, and changed my life. When I met this guy, he helped me realize things I never even fathomed could be real. And that is the literal reason why I was able to figure out how to get into the influencer marketing space. Because you're not happy with where you are in 2025, this is your opportunity. I'm not selling a course. Go join the Telegram below. I'm going to give away a ton of free resources and a ton of free value. And on top of that as well, if you want a fast track and you want something that's a little bit more direct, I'm happy to do that. I'll attach my mentorship below. You can book it directly with me. But I can't wait to get started and start building some awesome content for you guys to see and help you guys actually close your first deal or brand deal in the next 30 days. So stick with me, and I look forward to making more content for you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.